Okay, guys, we're going to push on to some racing previews because that's what we're here for, and we're going to have a look at 4 races on the card, starting at Te Rapa Race 1, the Aon Insurance Brokers 3-year-olds, Stephen. This brings together a nice field of 3-year-olds over the mile.
You're headed by Dubai Diva, open $3.50, Thad, well played early doors into $3. In front of 007. Now, they both come out of the same day, winning maiden races at 1400. We'll touch on those numbers shortly. But 007, $4 flat, hasn't budged since the opening call. Reverberations at a $4.20 quote, earlier in the week at $4. A Zegfield, $5.50 out of turn to 6. Double figures around Poster Boy, well played, but a horse that has been a well-backed commodity in all 3 starts to date at a $10 price. Maria at 15. Canadian Girl, 15 out of turn to 16. Carte Blanche, 16, soft at 21. And With You, best of the rest. Well, the Ranky at $26. So early lead around number 5 and Dubai Diva for the Michael McNabb, Stephen Marsh combo, $3 flat.
Yeah, Stephen Marsh flying. No surprise to see money for Dubai Diva. Interesting time of year for 3-year-olds. BP over the mile, you know, it's probably lightly raced a lot of these and late in the season for them. So there's potentially a few here with a fair bit of upside.
Oh, absolutely. And I think the horse who's marked as the favourite is exactly that. Even though winning a maiden race last time to the races, her spring form has been exceptional, really. The Soliloquy Stakes is a reference that we made when talking about this horse when winning last time to the races at counties. It's just form that stands up. It is pure Group 1 form that we've seen in her defeat in the Soliloquy Stakes. So if we go back to that race, which was on the 23rd of October, she was beaten by Imperatriz, who of course has now won 2 Group 1s this season. She ran second. Third in the race was Ballon Rouge, the winner of the New Zealand Oaks. Fourth in the race was the Perfect Pink, who then went on to win the 1,000 guineas. And fifth in the race was Mustang Valley, who's been racing well also through all those 3-year-old features. So she was still a maiden galloper leading into that race out of county. She's backed up all that very good black type form. And now she's in for over 1,600 metre trip here once again. 3rd run in her preparation. Everything sets up for her. I thought she was a really good bet.
$3, Paul. They've snapped in the Stephen Marsh runner early, $3.50 early when we opened. Now $3. So yeah, your initial thoughts here?
Rightly so as well.
You're with them.
The bookies hung it out, and the punters lapped it up. So I agree. That form in the Soliloquy around Imperatriz and Ballon Rouge and the Perfect Pink. Yeah, she deserves to be the favourite. Wouldn't surprise me to see her shorten a wee bit more. Nice little, I guess, sort of mid-year present from the bookies to the punters.
Been a few lately from Steve and the team, isn't there?
Yeah,
very generous.
Yeah, if you keep looking, you'll find a diamond here or there. So yeah, I agree with BP. Dubai Diva on top.
Yeah,
big time.
Okay, Steve, talk about this market and talk about Dubai Diva. Obviously, they've stepped in early at the 3.5.
Yeah, well, just want to touch on 007 first. I've marked this horse as a very good horse. All 3 starts to date has been well played. The SP's a little bit misleading. It started double figures a couple of starts back, but again was one of the bigger liabilities on the day, 007. So the market is respecting this individual even prior to winning its maiden last start. Well bred and has tactical speed for Leaf to have a few options from a decent alley. So maybe 007, one horse that can put itself in the race in the first 2 or 3 and running. Now, just assessing 007 and Dubai Diva's maiden wins, because you can compare and get a nice little, like I said, comparison between the two, because they come out of the same meeting, they race with side by side at the back end of the program, and they're over the same distance. So 007 maiden win v Dubai Diva. Look, Dubai Diva maiden win went out roughly 3 lengths quicker to the 600, with 007 race coming home the last 600 3/4 of a length faster. So you break those two down. The overall figure, the Dubai Diva maiden rated 1.1 lengths superior than 007. So there's not a huge amount in it. As I mentioned, 1.1 lengths superior Dubai Diva v 007. So that's why we brought up Dubai Diva, the original fave. As you see, $3 there off opening quote of $3.50. So yeah, 2 horses that haven't quite find their ceiling yet. They're both lightly raced, and they could definitely hit a PB, both of them, on Saturday.
Yeah, okay. 007, out of Boundless on the Oaks, didn't she?
Yeah, she's left a couple of good horses too. So, been by Bellardo, oldest crop, I think, a 3-year-old. So, yeah, look, the pedigree's there. The market have identified the horse as a useful type. And he's one horse as Dubai Diva is. They're kind of on the upward trajectory. So
yeah, okay.
Both horses ready to hit a peak on Saturday.
Got the ownership team too. 007.
Yeah, who's in the ownership?
The Taylors.
Yeah, no relation.
Auckland, no relation, sadly. Auckland mayoral candidate, Leo Malloy in the
yes,
ownership.
yeah.
Okay, and Stephen McKee, among others.
Yeah, it's a powerful lineup.
Powerful lineup. BP, who else do we need to mention in this 3-year-old race?
Look, I really like Reverberations. This is a horse who drops a kilo on the defeat last time to Explosive Miss. Explosive Miss went straight to the front in that race at Uruakaka. This horse was doing all its best work through the line to finish into that second position. Has a good draw on the weekend. Hasn't had a barrier draw in his most recent couple of runs. He's drawn 2 and he's got the blinkers on. So just like where he's situated, where he can be in a good spot in the map, Reverberations. Just like to see him being able to use that on the weekend and just give him that opportunity. If he can, I think he's a decent player in the race because he won with a fair bit of authority when he won his very first start on debut. He's nicely rated by the team, so I thought he was a definite player, along with the 007, with how the horse was able to perform. Like Stephen said, look, he's come with a good rap, and he got the job done last time to the races. And then you start looking towards horses like Ziegfeld again, drawn in barrier number 1. She's a 3-year-old filly that will certainly be able to use that and then take a position from there if they want to hold. She's a horse that has shown good talent in her 3-year-old filly season. Of course, she's won 3 races overall, so she looks to be a distinct danger from an inside draw. And then you have to try and line up Poster Boys, Uruakaka, Maiden, Victory, and horses like With You and the others that come through some different form lines. So, yeah, I was liking Dubai Diva. Happy to take the $3 quote, and then Reverberations 007 somewhere in the mix for Quinellas and trifectas.
Okay, just talk about Ziegfeld briefly, Steve, because it's winner of 3 from 6. The form looks solid, but pretty fair price of $6.50, I think, at the moment, or $6 anyway, Ziegfeld.
Yeah, I was disappointed by its last run, has to be said.
Yep.
I think you get a key line that the fact that Leith Innes has jumped off. Ziegfeld is on 007. No, not Craig Grill's jumping on, but I'm sure Leith would have had the choice. Happy to take a set against Ziegfeld.
Okay.
And also Poster Boy just didn't run the numbers at Ruakaka. It was a horse that was on speed that day. I think that was a key around how the track played at Ruakaka. So the win might have been a little bit misleading on the eye in terms of the numbers. On Reverberations, yeah, I think this is the play. I really do. I think this is the play. You're going to get a decent price in terms of the overall profile. You're not. It's not trained out of the Marsh or the Pike stable. No disrespect to Danny Walker and the jockey and Massa, but just the overall profile, I think that price will continue to ease. $4.20 on raw figures. It should be right where it sits, but I just feel with the marketplace and the overall profile on the 5 and the 2 and the 5. Reverberations is going to get out to $5 and north. So I'm happy for it to be running for the tab. I think it's right up there on exposed form, but no knocking the 5 and 2. They've got a lot of upside. Just on Reverberations, last 2 starts, you go back to Mudda. As BP mentioned, it drew a wide gate, defaulted back to last. They've absolutely walked for the first half of the race, and they've sprinted home, so it had no chance from the race shot and mathematically Reverberations at Mudda. And then last start at Ruakaka, sat in behind a horse that won on that day, who controlled the tempo and sprinted home and ran a really good figure, 3.1 lengths above par. That race it bounced out of Ruakaka. So again, on figures, it's right up there v the 2 favourites.
Okay, that is interesting. Paul, who else you got on your cheat sheet there? I see a bit of money for Poster Boy out there at double figures.
Don't mind the look of Poster Boy, to be fair. I thought he showed a ton of resilience to hold off the challenges at Ruakaka. Had to fight back. He got headed down the straight and fought back, and I love when a horse who gets headed fights back and keeps going. So Poster Boy at $10, I'll certainly have in there somewhere, but I just can't look away from Dubai Diva and the lovely money on offer.
Lovely money. Well, Pops is with Dubai Diva. You said it on Dubai Diva. That's how you'd attack this race as well?
Indeed.
Okay, straight out, Dubai Diva. Steve, quite keen on Reverberation.
Yeah, I think you've got to play the patient game. Back it on the day.
Yeah.
It's going to get out to $5 north. I rated it a lot higher, but I just feel with the marketplace and the profile that the top 2 have, basically 80% of the
SP bet.
money.
Thank you, Pops. You beat me to it. You beat me to it. Exactly. That's what we do. SP starting price fixed odds there, don't we?
Yeah.
Where did you have it, BP? Have you got it second or first, or have you got Dubai Diva on top?
I've got him as my second pick in the race, Reverberations. I just feel as though he's a runner that can be in a really good spot as opposed to where he's been in recent times. I think a smaller field and a better race shape for him is going to be his friend here on the weekend. So yeah, I won't Dubai Diva on top, but it could be a case where if you've got the 3.5 already on Dubai Diva and you're happy to maybe just maybe try and play around with the marketplace and see what else is there, well, then you could play the waiting game on a horse like Reverberations if it starts getting towards that $5 quote that Stephen's talking about and have the two of them going for you.
100%.